my name is Alexis Hill, and today I'm going to talk to you about some various strength training workouts that you can do either in the weight room, in the gym, or even at home. Today we're going to be talking about some upper body and lower body workouts. Lower body consisting of muscle groups of the quadriceps, your hamstrings, calf muscles, and your gluteus maximus or the buttocks. The upper body, we're going to talk about weights that are going to involve your bicep, tricep, shoulders, and your back muscles. All of these weights are going to involve three different categories. You have the free weights, which we're going to use for the back squat and the bench press. We have the machine weights, which we're going to use for the leg press and the lat pull down. And then we also have our body weights, where we're going to do the pike push-up and stationary lunge. The good thing about all 6 of these workouts is that you can change the difficulty level from easy all the way to your expert with the amount of weight that you put on or the type of lift that you do. And some of those I'm going to show you some various ways so that way you know how to change the difficulty level of them, especially in the body weight. Right now I want to talk about some strengths and weaknesses of the different lifts that we're going to be discussing today. The strengths of your leg press and your lat pull down, the machine weights, is that you don't have to have a spotter or additional person there when you're lifting, because the machine acts as your spotter. You're able to probably add a little bit more weight than if you were to use the free weights or the body weight, because again, the machine is kind of a spotter and takes some of the resistance off of like your knees and your back and your neck, as where some of the other weights adds that strain to there, therefore you can't use as much weight. The negative aspects of these weights is that they're not available to you all the time. You have to be at a weight room in order to use these machine weights, which means that you're very limited on when you can use these. With the free weights, with your bench press and your back squat, this is something that a lot of athletes use. One of the first things that coaches, I know that I taught my athletes on how to do properly because they use it so much. Negative aspects, it could hurt the back or the neck if done properly, or even the knees with the back squat. And then the body weight. The great thing about body weight is that you can do those at any time. You can do those in the morning, night, you can do those in the gym or in the weight room. Since I'm a basketball coach, I do want to talk about a little bit on these weights being a good benefit for basketball players. With all of the leg workouts that we're going to do today, they help basketball players with their defensive slides, rebounding, as far as jumping up for a rebound or even blocking out. It can help with your different positions. If you're a guard, you want to stay low in your offensive stance. Defense, you want to stay low in your defensive stance. And a lot of that involves your lower body. It also helps with your shooting. As you get older, you'll start relying more on your legs, your lower body, for your shots than your upper body. Another good thing about your legs with a basketball player is that you're running up and down the court all the time. So you want to make sure that you keep your legs in shape with conditioning and strength training, so that way you can stay within the game, the whole entire game, and not need a break. Your upper body with basketball, you use this for your passing, where you can pass in a further distance, your dribbling, or in your shooting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to talk about is the leg press, so come on. This is your leg press machine. This is where you can put your weights. Some leg press look a little bit different, but you're always going to look for where you can place your weights. Again, choose the weights that you are most comfortable with. You're able to probably put a little bit more weight on the leg press than you are on the back squat. When you're getting started with your leg press, you're going to sit down in the seat. You're going to put your legs up on the platform, and you want your legs to be shoulder width apart. Now, something you want to remember for all of the workouts we're going to do today is you want to make sure that when you're doing your workouts, you want to inhale down and exhale up. And you want to take about a 3-second count for both going down and up for all your workouts to make sure you're not rushing anything to where you'll hurt some of your muscles. All right, so you have your shoulders, your feet shoulder length apart. You want to have your hand on the safety. And in order to get started, you lift up a little bit and move the safety. And I'm going to do about 3 repetitions. Make sure that you watch your legs. Make sure they're about 90 degrees. And that's your leg press. Again, make sure that your legs go down to a 90-degree angle and that you do your 3-second count and make sure you're breathing. Today we're going to do the wide grip. Before you get started, you want to make sure, again, you adjust your weight. You can change the weight depending on how many sets you do. You want to make sure that you adjust your pads right above your knees. Make sure they're touching right at your knees. When you sit down, you want to make sure that you place your knees right underneath and place your hands wide on the bar. I'm going to pull it down, but I'm not going to start yet just because I want to make sure that my feet are underneath the pads and that I've got my chest out a little bit ready for the lift. Again, when you go down, you want to inhale, up, exhale, 3-second count. Notice I'm going all the way down to my chest. And that is your wide grip lat pull down. Okay, next we're going to talk about your stationary lunge. So this one is where you can change the difficulty depending on where you are starting at. Some people like to start with the split squat lunge where you just keep your feet here and you go down and you come up. Another lunge you can do is your stationary lunge. Here you're going to start with your feet together. I like to put my hands on my hip and you're going to go down and then you're going to bring your hips straight down and then come up and then go back to your starting position. When you do this, you want to make sure you drop your hips down again so that way you're not putting added pressure on your knees. You want to keep your back straight and again, just drop your hips. Make sure you're breathing. Try to use your 3-second. Next one we're going to talk about is our pike push-up. With your pike push-up, your body's going to make a V with the ground. Now, with changing the difficulty, you can have your feet in closer to your hands, which makes it more difficult, or further from your hands, which makes it a lot easier. So you want to make a V with the ground. Okay? You want your heels down to the ground as much as possible, and you want to get as close to the ground as possible with your nose as close to the ground as possible. Again, make sure you're breathing. Those are very difficult. That's a great workout for your athletes because they're so used to doing regular push-ups that when they have to do the pike push-up, they notice it's a little bit difficult and they'll have to work harder in order to be successful at those. All right, bench press. It's really good to have a spotter if you can, but if not, make sure you have these. All right, so I'm going to lay down. Make sure that my feet are all the way on the floor. When I lay down, I want to have my hands shoulder length apart. Make sure that I have a good grip before I get started. Make sure you feel situated. Again, 3-second count on up, 3-second down. Make sure you're breathing. So when I come down, I'm going to actually inhale. And then when I push up, I'm going to exhale. Okay, so I'm going to lift the bar up off the station. Make sure that it feels good before I actually get started. Notice I'm going all the way to my chest. Make sure that you have it good on your station before you remove your hands. All right, last we have the back squat. When you're getting started with this, again, you want to have a good hand grip on the bar, about shoulder length apart. Okay? You want to lift up on the bar. Again, you want to have your back muscles kind of squeezed together so that way the weight is sitting on the back muscles and not your neck. I'm going to place my feet shoulder length apart. I want my heels press down to the ground. Kind of curl your toes up so that way you have more weight on the back side of your body than the front so you don't tip over. My head is going to be facing forward. You can either face forward or you can kind of look up, never look down though. And I'm going to go down until my hamstrings are parallel with the floor, okay? Again, inhale going down, exhale going up, 3-second count. Again, I'm going to make sure that the bar is on the station before I walk away, and that's my workout. Thank you.